And I know what the conservative side of America thinks, and I don't blame them. I watched Kamala's speech last night. It ended at 8:09, I guess 11:09 in the East. It wasn't until 11:23 till the one conservative guy, what's his name?
Scott Jennings.
This Lonely Scott, I call him.
David Urban was there too.
Wait a second. I watched from 8:09 to 8:23, they were just gushing about how great a speech it was. And I think she did fine. I didn't think it was as good as they were making it out to be.
Well, I saw it, and honestly, if you haven't watched it, you're not missing much. But you know how it is with some of these networks. They'll have you believe that everything Kamala does is just the best thing since sliced bread.
I made press because you were on Stephen Colbert's show, and he said something like, you guys at CNN just report the news straight, and the crowd burst into laughter. Look, I'm on CNN now. I guess we're on it right now. I mean, they show this show the next night. I don't know I don't know how we get away with it with all the fucks, but they do. And all these dirty jokes. But I'm glad, and I'm a big rooter for CNN. But that tells you a lot, doesn't it? I mean, how do you guys think you are doing in that arena of like, this is a terribly divided country. We're not only politicized, a lot of people just hate the other side. And CNN, in my view, should be the place where both sides can watch. How do you think you're doing with that?
How is CNN is the place where both sides can watch. And I think, my show is evidence of that. We have lawmakers on from both parties. We'll have Elizabeth Warren on one night. We'll have Ted Cruz on another night. I think lawmakers from both parties should take questions, and you should push both of them. But on CNN being a place of credibility, I mean, look at what just happened in Chicago. We had 300 people from CNN on the ground covering that convention. There were several reporters from just our team alone on the floor, bringing it in real time to people. And I think CNN puts resources behind things and just brings a level of news that you don't get anywhere else.
So, imagine someone walking into a fire and insisting it's just a cozy little campfire. That's basically what just happened on CNN. One of their hosts claimed, get this, that her show is a place where both sides can come together and have a fair conversation. Yeah, I had to rewind too. Because if that's what balance looks like now, then I must have been watching a completely different channel. Let's be real, every time I flip over to CNN, it's the same scene. One conservative voice awkwardly squeezed into a panel of 5 liberal regulars, all ready to pounce. The second that lone voice starts making any real argument, it's game over. Cut off, mocked, or shut down like someone just brought pineapple pizza to an Italian dinner. But here's the kicker, this host genuinely thinks the show is fair because her family watches it. That's like calling yourself a fitness coach just because your dog likes to jog around the yard. Enter Bill Maher, and wow, did he unload. Whether you love him or think he's out of touch, the man did not hold back. He saw the contradiction, called out the charade, and honestly, he made points. CNN will have a hard time dodging. So, is CNN really the town square it claims to be, or just a one-way street with really good PR? Strap in, we've got the clips, the context, and some eyebrow-raising truths you're gonna wanna hear. Let's dive in.
I'm a conservative in America, and I'm watching CNN, just for the straight middle of the road. That's what I hear for 15 minutes. It's great, and then Lonely Scott. It does look, and when you see the path, it does look like tokenism. It's kind of like the same as The View. It's like it's almost better to have nobody there, like MSNBC, than to have this stuff.
Well, I don't think you could say it's better to have nobody there than also lament the fact that you don't think the conservative guy, Scott Jennings, who is great, and we have him on my show all the time, spoke up early enough. I think it was a Democratic convention. They turned to Democrats, people like David Axelrod, who ran successful presidential Democratic campaigns first, for their analysis of this. And I don't think that you can say that CNN is anything but fair. I mean, look at that. We covered President Biden's exit from the race very closely, the pressure on him to get out. And I feel like I can speak with authority on this. I'm from Alabama. I'm from a very red state. I have a very conservative family, a lot of them who are Trump voters. They watch my show every night. And I think they know that they can trust me, that, we call bullshit on every side, not just whatever leaning our audience may be. And I think that's something that people actually want more of, is to hear from that. I think Scott's voice is really important, but I think other voices are important to hear from. And everyone who was speaking last night, it's not like they were all Democrats. I mean, we had Dana Bash, Jake Tapper, Abby Phillip, all my amazing colleagues.
They come across
giving
that way.
analysis.
They come across that way. In a moment like that, it was like 5-1. It always looks like 5-1.
Okay, tell me if this sounds familiar. You flip on CNN. There's a conservative guest sitting there, probably thinking, all right, cool, finally a chance to get my perspective out. But about 2 minutes in, it's crystal clear. This wasn't an invitation to a discussion, it was a setup, a trap dressed up as a talk show. It's not a debate, it's not even close. It's like tossing a steak into a lion's cage and calling it fair feeding time. You can practically see the guest's soul leave their body as they get talked over, fact-checked mid-sentence, or hit with that polite but lethal. Well, let's move on. Meanwhile, the rest of the panel, nodding along like they're in a synchronized swim team. You half expect them to pull out pom-poms. It's like the whole thing was rehearsed the night before. And somehow, CNN expects viewers to believe this circus is balanced journalism. Balanced? That's like inviting someone to a karaoke contest, handing them a mic with no batteries, and then going, hey, at least we gave you a chance to sing. But wait, it gets better. The anchor, in a moment of absolute sincerity, actually defended the show's fairness by saying, well, my family watches it, so that proves it's neutral. I'm sorry, what? That's the journalistic equivalent of saying, my dog likes my podcast, so clearly I'm ready for a Peabody. Like, what are we doing here? Just because your family tunes in doesn't mean you're objective. It just means they love you, or at least, they love you enough to suffer through your segment on autopilot. And this is the network lecturing us about credibility? Yeah, this story's just heating up. Look, let's just be real, saying your family watches your show as proof you're neutral is not the mic drop she thinks it is. That's literally what families do. They show up, they support you. Even when the content's questionable or, let's be honest, a bit cringe. I mean, my grandma watches every video I post, but does that mean I'm ready to anchor 60 minutes? Yeah, no, she still thinks TikTok is a clock app. The point is, personal support doesn't magically turn bias into balance. And that's where Bill Maher stepped in, and whether you're a fan or not, the man nailed it on this one. He basically called out CNN for what a lot of people have been thinking. If you're gonna lean a certain way, just own it. Drop the act, be transparent. Stop putting on this we give both sides a fair shot costume when we all know one side's just there to play punching bag. Audiences are smarter than they used to be. We see the game, we know how the panel stacks up, and trust me, we're not buying the neutral label just because your aunt and cousins are tuning in. But hey, that's just my 2 cents. What about you? Do you think CNN's actually giving conservatives a fair shake? Or is it all just smoke and mirrors with a fancy set and some dramatic lighting? Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm reading all of them. Oh, and if you thought this segment was wild, just wait until you see what happened when Dr. Phil absolutely schooled Whoopi Goldberg on live television. It's uncomfortable, it's raw, it's kinda amazing. Stick around, you won't want to miss it.
And the same agencies that knew that are the agencies that shut down the schools for 2 years. Who does that? Who takes away the support system for these children? Who takes them away and shuts it down? And by the way, when they shut it down, they stopped reporters from being able to see children that were and in fact sent them home and abandoned them to their with no way to watch, and referrals dropped 50 to 60%. So
there was also a pandemic going on, and they were trying to save
kids' lives. Remember, we know a lot of folks who died during this, so it wasn't, people weren't laying around eating bond, but, well, you know what, we're lucky.